Oh God, I feel pretty awful. I think this is like maybe the worst I've felt trying to like just run rhythm all year, which is kind of expected. I half expected just from seeing people in the past, like a bit of a post-trials like hangover, especially when you run really well. It's such an emotional high, and I've been riding that nonstop since. I've gotten to go back home to California a couple of times in the couple of weeks since the trials, and a lot of socializing. So I just like, I was trying to stay focused, but at the same time, I just knew that I would need to come out here and just kind of like rip off the Band-Aid again of what it meant to just hurt, and I knew my legs were gonna kind of feel like shit. And it's funny, I felt like every bit of this travel was so inconvenient. We got delayed 3 hours on a plane yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Drew, Tony, and I got stuck in an elevator for 45 minutes this
way.
morning on our way to a shakeout. Yeah. So it was just like anything that could have been thrown at me, like it seemed like, and I just like kind of screamed at myself before the race. I was like, this is gonna be really fucking hard, but like you gotta just stick your nose in it. And I like had a feeling that nobody's gonna take the pace, and if you're gonna be up front, just might as well go for it. And Isaac and Duncan had a really good race, so I just tried to stick with them as long as I could, and I didn't, for the last lap pretty much, but just ran strong, and I can't complain too much about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to ask about the trials. I know you posted on Instagram, the only guy in the field that wasn't an All-American in college, leading the Olympic trials, final like a doofus.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have done it any other way. Can you share more about what it was like to compete in your first Olympic trials and finish 7th in the US?
It was such an incredible moment. I mean, I was more nervous for the prelim than the final. I had so much family and friends and old college teammates, old high school like coaches there. I just had like a really good community that like is always there, but I don't always like feel it because they're not like, I don't have like huge crowds of people at the meets, but obviously they're always rooting for me and they're in my corner. So to actually have them there like screaming for me was just like such a cool thing. So just making the final was just such a win within itself. And I was like, I literally can't lose out here, and we were going slow and I was bunched up in the pack and I was having shit hurdles, and I was like, why not today? Like, why don't you just go to the front? And, it was just such a cool experience. Like my auntie Kathy took a video of me from like the top of the turn up in the upper section. It was just like of a whole lap and a half of me leading. I watched it like 5 times a day. I was like, how cool is this? Like I said, I didn't even make nationals in college for anything. And, Isaac was the one person that was preventing me from saying I was the only non-NCAA D1 All-American or NCAA All-American because he was at an NAIA school. But it just like was such a sense of feeling that I belonged, and so I just ran like it, and it was just incredible. I'll always remember it for sure. So.
And I saw after your race today, you were signing a bunch of autographs. How does it feel to finish a race and be able to do that?
It's funny. My college roommate was right there, the first guy that I said hi to, and his brother, and just the kids happened to be right there. I was like, oh wow, what a cool opportunity! They're asking me to sign their autographs. So shout out to Will for forcing me to go over there. I wouldn't have seen them otherwise. It's just like a really cool experience just to be able to, like, the kids don't know who you are, but they look up to you so much, I remember doing the same thing with baseball. We would go to a community college game in California. I just asked the guys to sign the baseball, like most of those guys never played a pitch after community college, but I looked up to them so much, and I, thought it was so cool to be in that moment. And so just to be able to do that for kids looking up to you, regardless of how well you run. I could have gone last in that race and they would have asked me to sign their notebook. So it's awesome. It's just like something I really try and like take in. I'm getting older, so just enjoy it while I can.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's next for you?
Mile High Mile, August 1st in Boulder, Colorado. If you're looking for a race, we're gonna go try and go sub 4.
Awesome.
2K if you break 4. So I'm gonna go for sub 4. And after that, I'm gonna go to Germany for a steeple. Nobody knows about this yet. There's a steeple in Germany. I'm not going to reveal where or what day, so you got to find that out. And then hopefully Zagreb on the 8th. So hopefully go for a standard and feel a lot better than I did today and try and go 8:15 or faster.
Amazing.
Yeah.